Hello, hello. I can't believe it, but I took the dive. These are the limited edition Vans Warped Tour lipsticks from JEFFREE Star. Warped Tour did a collab with JEFFREE Star. I believe his second true collab. I believe the first one he ever did was with Manny MUA. And I want to answer the question everyone's probably asking. Do I really need these shades? How close are they to every other shade? Because I'm sure we pretty much all know the answer. They're probably really close, and you don't need these. I decided to get them because I'd rather just get them now than feel FOMO in a year if I didn't get them. But I wanted to swatch the shades that I have available to me and see how close they are. I'm sure the reds are probably going to get a closer swatch. I don't know about Backstage Pass because I also don't have, I feel like, too many neutral shades. I'm more of a, when it comes to JEFFREE Star, more of like the purple, green, orange colors, red colors, the ones that are really out there, versus a neutral lip girly. So let's see which ones we can get the closest to. I haven't even opened these. I haven't even swatched these. I have no idea what they actually look like. But let's start. Here we go. We're going to do some JEFFREE Star swatches. I'm going to start with the Warped Tour Red. This is a red. It looks like a red orange lipstick. Like I said, I haven't even opened this. I don't know how this is going to swatch. Okay. Yeah, definitely a red-orange. So just by pulling it out... Okay, let's see what we think it might be. Immediately, I think everyone thought of... This is a little dusty. I think everyone pretty much thought of Anna Nicole Smith. I'd say comparison-wise in the container, this looks a little bit more muted. But it does look like a close one. Let's see what else I might have. Let's see, I've pulled out 3 more shades. Let's compare these, see if they're even swatchable. We got Pain is Pleasure, Are You Filming, and Mindbender. Let's see how close these are. Mindbender is an orange. Oh, that's pretty close. I'm gonna swatch that one so you can see it. This is pretty close, but this has a gold shimmer to it. Next we have Pain is Pleasure. No, that's way too orange. This is way too orange. There's definitely a difference there. Not that one. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera very well. It might be too bright in here, but I don't think that's a good match. And then we have Are You Filming, which I think might be too red. It is way too red. So it's not like that one either. I think everyone's first thought when they saw this shade is probably the Anna Nicole Smith color. So I think these are the two ones we're going to swatch. I pulled out 2 more I found. Perhaps Checkmate or Tangerine Queen might be similar. So let's pull that out. Hell no, that's not even close. Girl, this is not the color I thought this was. Oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. Nope, not that one. Put that away. Okay, Checkmate. Checkmate might be a good one. Checkmate is slightly more red than the orange in this. This is a good one to compare. Okay, we got 3 comparisons. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so here we go. We're going to swatch this, see how it is. Here's the swatch. It smells like sunscreen. It kind of smells like sunscreen. But here is our swatch. This is the swatch for this. Let's see if I can bring the curtains down a little bit, maybe make it not as bright. Next, let's swatch Anna Nicole. I think Anna Nicole is probably the shade everyone thought of. Let's see if it's not too dry. I think it might be a little dry. Let me revive it and we'll swatch it. Ooh. So we just swatched it. That is really close. Now that it's dried down just a little bit, it is a little bit more orange, I think. Anna Nicole's a little bit more orange, and what is this? Warped Tour Red is more red, so it's definitely more red. Let's do the next one. This is Checkmate. Checkmate might be a good one as well, but this one I feel like might be too red now. Let's compare. Oh, that's way too red. All of these are definitely sisters, but not. It is a different shade. He's staying true so far. I mean, on the lips though, color theory, right? So that was Checkmate. Checkmate is more red. And then obviously this is Mindbender. Mindbender is going to be, it has a gold shift, but it's also more orange. It's an orange. It's definitely not even going to be close on this one, but oh girl, that wasn't even close. Yeah, you can see there. So this one, not even close. You can completely throw that one away. If you wanted to, so here's the thing, okay? Because if you don't, I don't know, let me know. Is there a full-size version of Anna Nicole? Because I have the mini version, and this is what came in the vault, I believe. I got this in the vault. So if Anna Nicole's not being made anymore, your kind of only other choice is to have Warped Tour. But if you have Anna Nicole, I feel like you're probably okay. Anna Nicole is a little bit more orange leaning than the Warped Tour red. And then we have Checkmate, which was a limited edition shade, I believe, which isn't going to be made anymore. The limited edition is more red than the Warped Tour red. So more red, more orange. This one's, I guess, kind of more in the middle in between those. So interesting comparison, but we have those so far. Next we have Backstage Pass. I don't know what this looks like. So I think I'm going to swatch this one first and figure out maybe what colors I could compare it to, because like I said, I don't really know. I don't have an instant neutral shade in my mind when I look at this color. So I'm going to swatch this first and then see which ones I think could maybe be compared. Okay, kind of, we're looking at something's a little bit more pinky mauve. A little bit more on the pinky mauve side, okay. Okay, this is what I came up with for Backstage Pass. The Backstage Pass is this one. So I pulled out Candy Joint and Family Jewels. And then I also pulled out Celebrity Skin, Thick as Thieves, and Gemini. So possibly one of these five. We'll see. It's dried down a lot more, so I feel like you get the true actual finish of what this shade could be. And it's a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. What if it's like androgyny? Is this, where is she? Where is she? Oh no, nope. Androgyny is way too pink. Never mind, never mind. So let's see, what could this, let's pull them all out. What's the closest this could be? That's too pink. That looks way too pink too. Ooh, girl. Ooh. Okay. I think our closest match is Celebrity Skin. Celebrity Skin is a lot more brown than pink. It's also lighter, but I think it's going to be our closest swatch. So I'm going to swatch this one first. Go like this. These two are really close too. Okay, I think I'm going to do it in this way. So let's start. This is Celebrity Skin. Oh, that's not close at all. This is Family Jewels. Oh, she might be a little dry. Oh, that's way too dark. She's a little dry, but that is way too dark. Then we have Candy Joint, which also might be too dry. Not bad, but very purple. We have Gemini. No, that's very much like a rusty kind of red. And then lastly, Thick as Thieves. No. I don't think any of these are gonna work. I think maybe your best bet is Celebrity Skin, but Celebrity Skin is lighter. It oxidizes into like a different shade, but it doesn't look like any other shade. I don't know, y'all. I think Backstage Pass might be a very special kind of color, but I mean, I don't have all the neutrals. I don't know. I can't compare all the, like, I think maybe Hidden Hills might be a good one. Maybe Daddy, is it Daddy? Might be a good one to compare it to, but I don't have those, so I can't compare it. So the ones that I don't have, I think this is a really good new one to have. I don't have anything like this. There is one more I pulled out. This is, I think, like Star Cowboy, maybe is the name of the shade. This was a mystery shade, and I'm wondering if maybe this is a good match. We'll see. Let's swatch it. Oh no, that is way much more pink. That is way more pink. There is a more rosy version of this Backstage Pass. Yeah, this one doesn't work either. Ooh, so close but no cigar. Okay, we have another one here. This is in Mosh Pit. I don't know what this looks like. This is another shade where I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what shade to pull out for this. So let's see what it looks like. Okay. Unicorn Blood, perhaps? Pull her out. Wifey, maybe? Let's go here. Whoa, that is deep. That is deep, 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 deep. Okay. Huh. Wow, wow, wow. I'm gonna have to start swatching over here. Okay, let's see. What can we match with this? Okay, so I've pulled out 5 more, but I'm looking at Wifey and Bricked Up. Wifey and Bricked Up are not, they're not close. So I'm gonna just take these out. I'm not gonna swatch them. I'm telling you right now, Wifey and Bricked Up are not like Mosh Pit. So I'm gonna set this to the side, and I think I'm just gonna swatch these 3. So I have Unicorn Blood, Bite My Tongue, and Misery. They are some of my darkest red JEFFREE Star lipsticks that I have. So let's see how close we can get to these. I feel like from the bottle, like they all look like sisters. They all look very, very close in the bottle. We'll see how close they actually are once they're swatched though. So let's start off with Unicorn Blood. I think Unicorn Blood was the shade everyone was thinking about once they saw this, but I don't think this actually looks like Unicorn Blood. Let's see. No, that's a no right there. Pretty fast. It's not as deep. It is not as deep and it's not as brown. Unicorn Blood is definitely more red. So not Unicorn Blood. We're going to do Misery. Misery, I love Misery. I love this shade. So pretty. Might be a little dry. Oh. That is very deep. That's a lot deeper than Mosh Pit. A lot deeper. It almost looks black. Like a dark, dark brown. Yeah, it's not that one. And lastly we have Bite My Tongue. So let's see how this one goes. It's more red. This one's more purple and this one's more red. But it is not that shade. Wow. Okay. What do y'all think? How is this? How are these swatches? What did we learn? So I think that the easiest shade out of this trio to probably duplicate is Warped Tour Red. This might not be a shade you need. If you have Nicole, if you have Checkmate, yes, they are still all different colors. Anna Nicole's more orange, Checkmate's more red, Mindbender is way more orange and has gold reflect. But I feel like then you may not need Warped Tour Red. This is possibly a passable shade for you. And then when we look at Mosh Pit as well, Mosh Pit, I could not duplicate it. I could not find something to duplicate it. But if you're looking for this kind of deep burgundy kind of shade, I mean, we have a shade that's more deep purple, a deep red. This one did your Unicorn Blood did come a little close, but it's a little bit more brick red. It's a little lighter. It's not as deep. So this is almost like a deeper Unicorn Blood. If you're into that, definitely get it. But again, maybe this isn't a shade that you need. If you're looking for something a lot more intense, he's had that. If you're looking something you think it's close to Unicorn Blood, I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't. You could probably get away with not buying it. To me, the most unique shade that we found today for me was Backstage Pass. I don't think any of these shades really look like Backstage Pass. Again, what was this? Was this Celebrity Skin or Mannequin? I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think it might have been Celebrity Skin. I'm gonna have to go back. But this is kind of close, but also not really. This is a lot more brown tan compared to this more pinky sienna rose kind of color. This one was the hardest to dupe for me in my collection, so this one's, I think, I'm happy to have this one. I thought this was going to be a lot lighter and more brown, but now that I've seen it swatched, I like it a lot more. But let me know what you think. I know a lot of people had a lot of ideas and thoughts on this kind of Warped Tour collection that came out of nowhere. I personally wasn't going to buy anything, but then I started getting some shorts of the swatches, and I'm like, I feel like I really want these. Because like they said, these are limited edition. Because it is a collab, it does feel like one of those things where, like, sometimes Jeffree Star will say, oh, this is limited edition, but then we'll see it a year, 2 years later on the website to buy singularly. You know, usually this stuff is part of, you know, like mystery bags, or they're limited edition, but then you'll still see them years later on Beautylish and stuff. So I thought that because maybe these were Warped Tour, they were going to stick to these are limited edition, because it's a collab. Once they're gone, they're gone. And I did not want to get the FOMO, so I was like, might as well get them, I'm glad I got them. Just so I can have them kind of part of my collection. These are definitely, all these shades are definitely all shades that I use. As you can see here, I've never really shown my lipstick collection, but I have quite the lipstick collection. I really like Jeffree Star lipsticks. I think they're some of the best on the market. But, you know, let me know down below what you guys think of these shades. I think Backstage Pass is the most unique one of the three. Dear Lord, just want to stand up. But other than that, y'all have a great day. I would love to know which one of these stood out to you.